The Astrodome making a comeback. It could be open for business again by the year 2020. The historic building, as you know, has been the focus of a heated debate. Blow it up or renovate? Good evening. I'm Len Cannon.
And I'm Mia Gradney. This new plan for the Astrodome comes with plenty of controversy, especially after Harvey. Adam Bennett is live outside the dome right now. Adam, the Harris County judge says doing nothing or tearing it down are both costly moves.
That's right, Mia. You know, the county judge Ed Emmett says taxpayers are tearing it down would cost taxpayers rather the same amount of money that they would be spending on this current plan. And he says the upkeep on this paid off county-owned building already costing them about $171,000 each year. Now he's hoping to turn this money pit into a moneymaker. On a cold day at the current home of baseball's World Series champs, you'll find plenty of hot sports opinions on the future of the Astros' old stomping grounds.
If they can do something with it and save it, it's pretty cool to save that history.
I'm excited to see it come back to life. All in favor signify by aye.
Harris County Judge Ed Emmett called this morning's unanimous vote by county commissioners a routine next step, roughly a year and a half after the commissioners approved the first $10 million in design work.
After the engineers looked at the plan and said, yes, it will work, then today's vote was just to keep going forward.
The plan calls for raising the Astrodome floor to ground level, building 1,400 parking spaces underneath, and creating 9 acres of open space to rent out to festivals, conferences, and big events like the rodeo.
It's important that the Dome start raising revenue that can help pay for upgrades to the stadium and all of NRG Park.
The cost would be split 3 ways between hotel occupancy taxes, parking fees, and taxpayer money.
And I feel sorry for the people who will have to work on the different parking levels directing traffic.
One resident expressed environmental, safety, and noise concerns at the meeting, while many others believe that $35 million in taxpayer money would be better spent on Harvey relief and flood control.
We still have to maintain buildings. I mean, we have to maintain this building, and we spend millions of dollars every year maintaining buildings, rebuilding the courthouse, for example. So this is just another building.
And State Senator Paul Bettencourt of Houston also criticized commissioners, saying that this taxpayer money could have been better spent on lowering the tax rate or on disaster reappraisals for Harvey victims. Now, he also pointed to voters' rejection of a $217 million bond proposal on the Dome back in 2013, though the judge pointed out that in that proposal, that would have increased taxes. This one does not change taxes for taxpayers. Guys, send it back to you.
Adam, so the Dome still has life. What's the next step in the plan?
Well, Len, the judge says he hopes to start construction later this year. He expects that to take about 17 months, though he did point out that because this is a protected building, the Texas Historical Commission has to sign off on each step of the process, though he says he's confident that that will happen.
If all goes well, as we said earlier, 2020, we could be checking it out. Thanks, Adam. And there's a passionate debate about saving the Dome on social media. What do you think of the $105 million plan to renovate? Here are the options. Glad it's being saved, or do you think this is a waste of money? Check the numbers so far. Go to KHOU.com/vote now and cast your vote.
A soldier stationed at Fort Bragg is now accused of raping a teenager in Cyprus 5 years ago. We first broke this story on KHOU.com, and we have also learned the soldier is now being investigated for another sex assault. Jason Miles is live from the Harris County Sheriff's Office with more for us. Jason?
Hey there, Mia. Detectives here are elated to finally make an arrest in this case. I'm told the victim is happy too. She is still dealing with the impact of this crime 5 years later. Let's start with this. Take a look at 24-year-old Levi Goss. He's an Army paratrooper currently stationed up at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. That's where he is a suspect in a separate sexual assault case. DNA collected in that case was matched to DNA from a 2013 kidnapping and rape right here in Harris County. The 16-year-old victim was abducted, dragged, raped, and beaten near Cypress Woods High School. She played dead until her attacker left the scene and was able to walk to a movie theater to get help.
And looking at the pictures and going through the report, you know, it's one of those cases where, you know, I knew we had to find some type of resolve. I mean, it was that bad. So it feels amazing.
I'm told Goss submitted DNA when he enlisted in the Army back in 2016, but the Army does not upload that DNA until a soldier is under investigation for a specific crime. Goss should be extradited back here to Harris County over the next 10 days or so. If you do the math, that means he was 19 years old at the time of this alleged kidnapping and rape up in the Cypress area. I'm told he had a family member who lived in close proximity to that crime scene. Back to you.
Such horrific allegations and a case itself. Jason Miles, thanks so much.
All right, let's show you some surveillance video now of a violent carjacking that occurred in Fort Bend County last night. 3 men were seen shooting a guy, then taking his car. It happened in the Mission Bend neighborhood. Residents heard the shots, then found the driver on the side of the road. There's the car. The gunman took off in the victim's car. It is a black Dodge Dart with the license plate number GTL 4765. Police don't know if this was a random attack or if the victim actually knew who these guys were.
All right, let's take you back outdoors now, where it is cold and dreary on this Fat Tuesday.
Mardi Gras is here. The rain is gone, so what now, David?
Now fog and drizzle and mist, and that's about what you'd expect from Mardi Gras. At least that's my personal memories of Mardi Gras. It always seems to be raining down here. Fat Tuesday in Galveston. You can see the fog obscuring the top of the Ferris wheel and the spire there on Pleasure Pier. As far as this evening for all the Mardi Gras festivities, whether you're down in Galveston or even further inland, we've got a slight rain chance. It will be light mist and drizzle for the most part. And temps holding in the 50s. This is specifically for Galveston, but inland it will be upper 50s, low 60s out there through 11 o'clock tonight. So keep the umbrellas handy, although what falls tonight should be very, very light, but plenty of it. Light rain and drizzle this evening, and then the fog rolls in. This fog is going to be thick, and it's going to be a player because I think the fog will be thick enough tomorrow that the warm-up is only going to be very slow. I've kind of backed off on the whole warm-up thing. I'll show you the numbers. We'll talk about what to expect for the next several days and another weekend cool down in just a few minutes.
All right, the weather kind of blah out there, so how would you like to hear some good news? We have some about recovering from Harvey. We've just learned from Governor Greg Abbott, along with Mayor Sylvester Turner, that more money is coming to Houston. Sherman Childs following today's developments. In Sherman, how much money are we talking about? Where's it going to go?
$6 billion. That announcement made about an hour ago here at City Hall. Money coming in 2 pots. $1 billion for hazard mitigation, $5 billion in community block grant money. That announcement coming here. Then, of course, you know, Hurricane Harvey, the costliest disaster in Houston history, and housing repairs alone are estimated to be at $6 to $8 billion to repair housing. That's according to the mayor. The $5 billion in community grant money, about half of that should be heading towards Houston, and that money should be available in March. Now, that's largely for fixing up your house, and those who have 80% of the average median income would be eligible for those funds. Elected officials from city, county, and state all here for the big announcements. And the other big pot, that $1 billion to fight future flooding, well, a lot of things qualify for that.
Buyouts and elevations, drainage and reservoir projects that eliminate future flooding, projects that lessen the frequency and the severity of flooding, flood risk management projects like dams, retention basins, levees, flood walls, seawalls, jetties, sand dunes, and large-scale channeling of waterways.
Half of that money, about $500 million, is available right now. Local governments are working to access that. Now,
All right, Sherman Chow live reporting on the new money, $6 billion coming in the form of mostly block grants, and a lot of people will be able to get that money by March. That is very good news. Sherman, thanks for the live reporting.
Now to the Capitol, where senators have started hashing out a plan to reform the nation's immigration system. They have until March 5th to make a decision. That's when the DACA program expires. Today, President Trump tweeted Republicans want to make a deal, and Democrats say they want to make a deal. Wouldn't it be great if we could finally, after so many years, solve the DACA puzzle? Republicans are pushing a bill that would give a path to citizenship for nearly 2 million undocumented immigrants, fund border security and the border wall with $25 billion.
They've been talking about it for many years, and if we could do it, it would be a great achievement.
Well, this is a very difficult issue. We're all aware of that. But we can get something done. We're on the verge.
Democrats are demanding any immigration solution include protections for nearly 700,000 immigrants who were brought to the U.S. illegally as children.
President Trump says he wants to overhaul the food stamp program and replace it with a food box delivery program, much like Blue Apron. That's where you get pre-selected boxes of healthy and affordable groceries. People would get the food instead of the stamps. The Trump administration claims the program would save millions of dollars. Democrats, on the other hand, call the idea expensive and unrealistic.